All right, it's Halloween, October 31st, and we are at the 1001 Nights B&B in St. Augustine, Florida. Room 8 is our room, which is all the way up on the 3rd floor, which was the attic of the original house. It was converted into a really nice bedroom. And we'll take a look at that a little bit later. Showing the inside of the 2nd floor. And there is a porch. Couple of chairs. It's a shared balcony.
Yes.
And a school across the street.
Yes. I don't think we're doing that today. We've done it before.
Are you into that paranormal stuff?
He is very much so.
Are you?
Stay down on the
Yes.
1st floor.
I haven't felt any presence in this house, but there are 3 buildings. Actually there are 4 buildings that I've experienced. One is the oldest house museum.
Mhm.
They probably don't like me talking about it.
We went
I
there
worked
one time, right?
Yeah.
Just once, yeah.
Well, I worked as a Dawson, and
Oh.
every day at 5 o'clock, we would close the front door to the gift shop, which is the main entrance.
Mhm.
And then I would go next door to the Tovar house, and on the 2nd floor are all the lights to the house. And the closet is underneath the staircase. So every day, like clockwork, I would go up there. One day, I opened the door and it shut on me. And it's on a regular hinge. It's not a spring hinge like this one is. So I'm like, okay, it kind of took me back by surprise. So I'm like, okay. So I pulled open again and there was like resistance on the other side. So I'm like, so I yanked it and I turned the lights off and I went downstairs and went next door and I said to my colleague who was closing out with me, I said, do you see like, am I imagining is there like a face on the 2nd floor window? And it wasn't like a face, as more as like a grayish with like pair of dark eyes on the 2nd floor.
Wow.
So my colleague, so I'm like, are there any like trees that reflect on that window? And we went out, there's nothing that reflects on that window. So that was the first experience. And then I worked for another bed and breakfast on Cordova, the old powder house. And I had just cleaned up room 6 on the 2nd floor. And
Stayed there.
did you?
You did?
Mm-hmm.
Did you? So I had just cleaned the room and did my tissue box a certain way. And then that bathroom in room 6, there's like a pull-out mirror. So I cleaned that and I pushed it back. Come back, went downstairs to get something, came back, mirror was pushed out, and there was like a fingerprint on it. And the tissue box, somebody had crumpled it in like they were mad.
Oh, wow.
So I'm like, well, I'm the only one with the key to the room, and nobody else was cleaning that day except myself. So I went back and I thought maybe the hinge need to be adjusted on the mirror. So I cleaned it, pushed it back, and stood like 10 minutes thinking that it would move out, and then I was gonna adjust it with a screwdriver. Nothing happened. Nothing would, fix the tissue box, nothing, everything was fine. So I said to someone, I had experience in room 6, and someone who had been there for a while said, oh yeah, that's where the owner used to be, and she doesn't like when new people start, because this was like in the beginning. So I'm like, okay. So I'm preparing breakfast in the dining room one morning, and boom. And you know the dining room of that house, right? With the French glass doors to the dining room.
Yes.
Well, I'm thinking other people would have had to hear this noise. Checked with the guests, nobody else heard it. And then when I was cleaning up, I was in the dining room by myself, and there's like this figure just like brushed right past me. And that's like the hair on my neck kind of like stood up because it was like really cold when he did that. Thinking it was a he because it was tall figure, shadow of a figure. And then the door to the to the kitchen is that swinging door. So I left it open, and it swung shut on me.
And which house is this again?
This was the old
Old
powder
powder
house
house.
on
Okay.
Cordova.
Okay.
Um,
You
and
think we
then-
stayed there?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll have to look back at our pictures. And
Yeah, and then when I was at the Castle Garden, which it has a new owner now, that's the one right across Ripley's. So you have the Ripley's Museum, which used to be the main house of the family that built it, and then right across the street, the Castle Garden Inn, that was their blacksmith and the servant quarters. So at that time, this was during COVID, that place was vacant during all of COVID. And so we thought, the owner and I thought it was a great time to like paint and leave wallpaper and stuff. So I'm staying on the second floor all by myself, and he and his mother are on the first floor. One night, I'm reading a book, like at 11 o'clock at night, and all of a sudden, I hear like laughter next door and a baby gurgling, and I'm like, okay, that's odd. I'm the only one on this floor, and the room across me, and it definitely there's something strange because that room was super cold. Like it was just really cold, and you get this like eerie feeling in that room because it was so cold. Well, I hear that laughter and the baby gurgling, and it's like around 11 o'clock at night, and I go outside, nobody in the street. So I'm like, okay. So I keep on reading my book, and half an hour later, I hear like crying, like a woman crying. And so I'm like, okay. So that night I kind of slept with my light on because it was right next door. It was like, that kind of freaked me out. So I said at breakfast, I said to the owner, anybody experience anything paranormal, like, in that room or next to that room? He's like, yeah, in that corner room, people did say strange things would happen. Like they would get like eerie feeling, and they would hear like woman's voice, and found out that one of the woman servants who stayed in that room had a child. I don't know through by what means, but the child had died early in their, infant mortality was very common in those days.
Sure.
And so they sometimes hear her laughing or crying, and sometimes guests who get spooked by staying in that room, they check out in the middle of the night.
Oh gosh! Now, what's the name of this place? Can you still stay there now?
Well, it has new owners,
Okay.
and they completely redid the inside of the house. I don't know if anybody has had any paranormal experience. I don't know the owners
So
enough to
I know where
ask.
Ripley's is. Across the street is that really big new hotel, right? There's Ripley's Castle.
The Victor or the Victorian.
Yeah, the really big, fancy,
Yeah.
the Renaissance
Yeah.
or something, right? Is that what it's
Yeah.
called? So
I've
you're not
never
talking
been
about
in.
that.
No.
So this is.
This is the smaller bed and breakfast. It's on the same side as Ripley's.
So if I'm looking at Ripley's, is it to the left? I would think, right? Okay, I don't even recall what that is.
There's
We'll
a
have to look.
small building that
Okay.
has the same. It's made out of the same material, like
Okay.
that stone.
Oh, let's take a
and
look.
on that street.
Is
Okay.
it a private residence now, or do they rent it?
It's still a bed and breakfast,
Oh, wow.
but
We'll have to
they
go look.
modernized everything. It
Oh, wow.
doesn't have the same. When Bruce owned it, that house had very Victorian inside, like this, because a lot of these homes were built in the late 1800s.
Sure.
So it had a very like antique-ish look to it, Victorian look. But the new owners gutted the whole thing, and they made it all modern, basically. I've never met anyone who stayed there, or I don't know the owners enough to ask.
We might inquire
if
today.
they're- Yeah.
Get our costumes on, walk over there. Hey.
Yeah.
So I did a little bit of research here. The earliest research I could see was that it was owned by, I forgot the name of the family. I have it all. I'm videoing now.
Right.
It was a woman's boarding house, I think.
Well, during the Depression, or as the fortunes would fall,
Mm-hmm.
on a lot of these big houses, they would turn it into boarding house. And the same thing with the old Powder House Inn. As their fortunes would fall, in order to keep up the expenses of these large homes, they turned it into boarding house, which is kind of easy to do because you had the school here,
Yeah.
the college here, and people that are transient for work. So, like at one time, I'm not surprised that a lot of these homes were boarding houses.
There really wasn't too much as far as I don't know if that family originally built the house
Mhm.
in the 1800s or if it was just an empty lot of land.
Mhm.
They were the first ones that built it. I couldn't quite
Well,
find that.
This house, according to what I know,
Mhm.
construction started around 1884.
Okay, so it was probably that first family then.
Yeah.
And I think the husband, again, I have it all, but I
Yeah.
don't recall it to mind. He was a prominent figure in St. Augustine, I believe, as well as what was his wife, and then the daughters also, I think, were teachers, if that's
It's
correct.
not surprising because
Yeah.
Flagler was a teaching college
Okay, yeah.
in the beginning.
And then what happened after that? I
Yeah.
didn't go to the library or anything or really dig in the archives. But that would be the only thing I could really do besides, looking it up online.
I'm not sure if it's open because of the closure of a lot of these
Yeah.
state organizations.
Mm-hmm.
But on Charlotte Street is the St. Augustine Historical Library.
Oh, okay.
Did you know that existed?
No.
Okay. If you walk on Charlotte towards the Oldest House Museum,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it would be on the right side. I
Okay.
think. Or maybe it's not on Charlotte, but the street that's parallel to it,
Mm-hmm.
down from the restaurant and the Spanish hospital.
Okay.
Maybe on that side.
Okay, cool.
But the St. Augustine Historical Society has their own library,
Oh.
and that has a huge
That'd be
archive.
a lot of fun to.
Yeah, it's a lot of
Wow,
information.
okay.
If you could get in or
Great.
find out the time.
Well, yeah, I love the paranormal, and we saw a couple that had done a YouTube video that stayed here, and they were just talking softly. And
I think
I don't
know
think they
that.
got anything, but
No,
you never
they
know.
have-
That's why you try.
Right, they have
Yeah.
a spectrometer and they
Yeah.
have stuff in
Yeah,
the
I mean, I used to
light.
use a lot of the gadgets, but over the
Yeah.
years, I've seen people deep dive scientifically. I mean,
Mhm.
look, whatever works for you, but
Right.
a lot of it can be that they say is debunked, and a lot of other things
Yeah.
could make these tools go off. So I say just trust your senses. That's your
Yeah.
best paranormal
Yeah.
equipment is your senses. You can't deny that.
Right. And it wasn't uncommon for the Victorians to have their awake in the house
Mhm.
with the dead bodies.
Mm-hmm.
That was like in England, you ever hear that movie or the series Penny Dreadful?
I've heard of it. I have not watched
The
it.
premise behind Penny Dreadful. So in England, a lot of, at that time, illiteracy, but people wouldn't have the monies, a lot of people wouldn't have the monies to buy books, but they could afford the penny circulars.
Mm.
Penny circulars, what paper boys would go on the street and say, read today, this is the story. And to attract readership among the masses, they would circulate something called the Penny Dreadful. And it's called Penny Dreadful because it's sold for a penny, but it's called dreadful because in order to get everybody's attention, it would just print macabre stories. Stories are like macabre and just strange stuff, and that's why it's called Penny Dreadful.
Interesting.
So, but the English Victorian age in England, they would have their wake with the dead in their homes, but they wanted, at a certain point in the Victorian era, they wanted the lasting photo with their loved ones. So they would pose them in the salon or the living room.
Wow.
They would pose them and open their eyes
Oh, jeez.
Oh
and have
my.
this picture with the dead person.
I
mean,
Like
if
the
you could
father
do that
or
today,
the
people
uncle or
would,
the grandfather. You're right.
People would be
I
freaking
mean,
out.
Yeah. There are a lot of photos you could probably look up online that you could find of the Victorian poses with the dead.
That's
Oh,
interesting.
that's fascinating.
Yeah.
Well, we've been to many alleged haunted B&Bs in St.
Mhm.
Augustine and literally never experienced anything here, correct? Other cities, yeah, but not here, right? Until we went to an Airbnb. It wasn't an official B&B, but I guess technically it was a house, renovated into
You
different little
rented?
apartments.
Down here?
Actually, maybe like
It was
a
just
street
past-
over.
Okay.
Like you got the garage, and
Yeah.
then that street there,
Yeah.
a house on the side street. I'm getting goosebumps just thinking of it. She experienced something that everybody that's into paranormal wishes they could. She saw a spirit.
Oh, you did?
Yes,
Yeah.
and she's like, yeah, maybe, but she's not like me, like into it.
Right.
And she's always kind of discredited it, but she's had way more experiences than me,
Yeah.
physically, now visually. And we were talking about it on the porch. And we were talking about it, and all of a sudden the screen door slammed. Now we had been out there for what, 5 to 10 minutes talking prior, and then we started just talking about the thing again because I brought it up again. And there was no wind that would have. It was, coincidences. I don't think coincidences are just. Yeah, it was awfully strange, the timing of it, and nothing happened after that.
Yeah.
But we've always said, geez, we've been to all these alleged haunted places with much history, and people having sightings, and we go to just a random place to just spend a random night here with no thought of the paranormal, and she has that happen to her. It was insane.
Like the Tovar house at the oldest house museum, I had been there, I must have done that at least 80 times.
Wow.
Turned the lights off in that closet.
Yeah.
Nothing ever happened
Mhm.
that particular night. I just opened the door and it slammed shut on me.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And then when you get open,
You just
it's like
never
somebody's
know.
like trying to close it.
Yeah.
it's
And then you're like, wait, am I crazy?
Yeah.
Wait, well,
Yeah.
this isn't supposed to happen.
But for, I was like shocked
Yeah.
that it closed. And then when it kind of like resisted, I'm like, okay, this is not fun. So I was just like, cut it out.
That's, wow. Lucky.
That attic is scary because it's like I never went up to that attic.
Yeah.
That was recited by a doctor and his 2 children and a Spanish sailor. I think used to live in that as a boarder in that house.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I would say that. So those 4 places were the most vivid. I have been here since February, and I'm here consistently. I've never experienced anything. The only thing is the one mirror, it always has like a smudge. We clean it and there's like a smudge again.
Really?
Yeah, but I never experienced any entity around it. That's the odd thing.
Have you ever been to the oldest school on St. George? Have you ever been in there?
I
I had a weird feeling in there the one time we
Yeah.
went. It just, something didn't. It just felt, because they have, a little bit of a walking area on the grounds, if you will, and then there's the actual school. You can kind of go in and look, and it's, it's roped off with, mannequins and things of the scene of the day. And there's a well that's in the courtyard, kind of. I just walked. I just felt like a feeling that, you're not welcome. Get out of here. Leave. Didn't see or hear or feel anything other than that, and as soon as we left, I was fine.
Yeah.
And I've been to many haunted places. I used to ghost hunt. I used to have my team when I lived up in New York. I was really deep into it for the longest time.
I'm from New Jersey.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Rochester, New York.
Yeah.
But I used to ghost hunt with my team, and I had a video that there was a place in Palmyra that was it's a historical museum, haunted. Go there a lot. I captured a little video of, like a little kind of a amorphous floating thing. It wasn't a bug, it was too big. And a TV show at the time on A&E wanted to use that, and it was like My Ghost Story or something, one of those shows. And at the time, the director of the museum, she was interviewed, and they just share like 10-minute clip in the show.
Yeah.
And I didn't sign a waiver that they could use my video. I was like, yeah, that's cool. It wasn't a ghost on video, but it was an amorphous floating thing.
Yeah.
It was weird. But yeah, so I've ghost hunted so many times. I've heard stuff. I saw a shadow one time, but I've not really had a whole lot of experiences over the years of doing it. And it's like we go places and she's not even looking for it, and stuff happens to her.
Well, I was watching, a lot of these, I love the paranormal stuff.
We're going to the lighthouse in a minute.
It was just 2 outlandish paranormal.
Mhm.
You find out that a lot of it, it was fake.
Oh, a lot of it is. Yeah.
But there was this one house in Connecticut where it just very bad negative vibes that people who, I can't remember the name of that house. But the house just stands alone on top of like a hill, and whoever visits just gets really like spooked because very vivid things happen. I can't remember the name of the house. But you could probably Google haunted houses in Connecticut.
Probably show up.
And it probably shows up. But it was this White House, and
On a hill?
it was sort of by itself,
Mm-hmm.
like on a little hill, and everybody who visited always has weird things happening. You know, like the costumes are like in, you know, I guess they had like periodic costumes here and there, like they, you know, because it was like a visiting type of place, and it would like rearrange themselves all the time.
Wow.
You know, and I'm like, that's maybe a little bit too vivid. But
Yeah.
there was, I can't remember the name of the bar, but there's a bar in town where a lot of staff, like, they don't like to work and they
Mhm.
Oh, the
themselves.
Scarlett O'Hara?
I don't remember, but it, like, glasses would fall,
Mhm.
you know, where.
Yeah, we're gonna go to a few of them tonight.
Yeah,
I got a
like
little list
chairs
planned
would
out.
move, you know.
Huh.
So tonight we're not doing
any.
any paranormal stuff, but we're gonna dress up and
We're-
just go around.
We're doing our own
Uh-huh.
haunted pub
Okay.
crawl. I've done a little bit of
Uh-huh.
research on each place we're gonna go, and we're gonna read about it, have a drink, kind of take the lay of the land, and then move
Right.
on, and see if
Yeah.
anything happens. If not, we're still gonna have a good time.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you're into the paranormal because he loves it, and
Well,
not
like, we
everybody
usually go to Savannah for
Well,
Halloween, but this year we decided
yeah.
to come here because we're here all the
all
time.
the time.
You guys, I think, are too young to remember Amityville Horror.
Oh
Well,
yeah.
I remember the
Yeah.
movies, and
But do you remember when it first came out? Everybody was really spooked
I was a
by
kid.
it.
Yeah.
All I remember when a kid is that picture of the window on the
Yeah.
house.
Yeah.
In fact, the current owners, they had to like completely change it because too many people were going out front and
Yeah.
taking pictures and
Well,
whatnot.
my mother had a house down Jersey Shore, and for some reason, my cousin and I, he drove, and then he had to leave me there because he forgot something very important back up North Jersey. So I'm in the house by myself, and of course, of all the books, Amityville Horror book. So here it's like, I'm in the house by myself, and it's an old house, and I'm like reading it. You know, really like.
Somebody's not gonna
myself
sleep.
down.
You.
So, I mean, I grew up on Freddy Krueger and Jason,
Mhm.
and those like, like
Yeah.
Hellraiser movies and stuff. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty like jaded by it. But Mother's like, what are you reading? Amityville Horror.
If you go to the old jail here,
Yes.
I felt really weird one time there, like
Yeah.
same oppressive feeling, but I've been there other times and felt nothing. Remember the one time we went? I think it was like during the day, and I'm like, I don't like being here. Something was telling me like, get out.
My friend did that midnight or 2 a.m. ghost tour.
Okay.
And they give you a spectrometer. And
Mm-hmm.
so she just wanted to experience something, and she didn't want to read anything or
Mm.
know anything about it.
Mhm.
So when she went, she said that one of the rooms, which is completely dark, they were in the room, and she said she felt something like touch her calf muscle.
You know that.
So it kind of like, it touched her calf muscles, and she could sort of like see almost see like the apparition.
Oh jeez.
So she kind of went home and drew it.
Oh
when she-
wow.
when she saw it.
Really? Wow.
Right. And she said to them, like, reached out to them and said, did people ever experience this thing?
Mm-hmm.
And she had a picture of it. And they're like, oh yeah, sometimes people describe that they see it. And
Mm.
it's like, I can't say it's not a demon, but
Mhm.
it's just like a weird thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's like an amorphous kind of,
Hmm.
but it kind of like goes around your legs sometimes.
Hmm.
Some people experience. And she did.
Did she
definitely
feel
did.
any negativity about it?
She just felt like bizarre, scared,
Mhm.
So-
but at the same
Probably
time,
wasn't
she was
Anything evil or anything like that?
Well, no, she
Yeah, that's good.
she was surprised that she
Yeah.
felt it.
Yeah. But it wasn't a kid though, like a little child, like crouching down or something. That's interesting.
No, she
Hmm.
said it was more like when she showed me the picture,
Mhm.
I want to say it looked like a big blob of a caterpillar.
Really?
Wow.
Interesting.
And I'm like, so what is that? Because usually apparition has to be like a figure of a being, like a human being.
Mm-hmm.
But for something like that, that's like,
Hmm.
you're in the other realm now.
Could be anything, really. Who knows?
Yeah, you're in the other realm. You're getting into demons now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wow.
So,
Interesting. Wow.
yeah.
Well, I would love to keep talking. But we'll,
Yeah.
He would
Sure.
talk
Get
to you
going
all
on our,
day.
Are you here all day or
I
just
met
for a little while?
somebody-
Or
Yeah, I met somebody
Okay.
over at Pensacola. They have an oldest house in Pensacola,
Mhm.
and they showed me a photograph. They took it in the foyer of the house.
Mhm.
So it was a huge mirror, and when they took the photo, there's nobody standing behind her, but in the mirror is like this black top hat.
Mm.
That's the way I stand.
And they just seem like a black.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's
This is
nobody
where we
standing
had
behind
breakfast.
her. When she looked at the photo, there's like her, her, and then in the mirror there's a black hat.
Hmm.
The top hat that they used to wear like in the 1800s.
Sure.
Yeah.
Mm.
It was like, she said it was bizarre. She actually caught the photo of something.
Yeah.
I think they just,
Well, we can keep talking for
Yeah,
hours.
of course.
I appreciate
So
your
do
time.
thing,
Thank
and
you so
I'll see
much.
you for breakfast tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank
How
you.
late are you here?
I'm gonna be gone in about half an hour.
Oh, okay.
No problem.
I'm
but-
glad we
That's
got
for
you.
breakfast. I'll be
Yeah.
here like at 7 a.m. tomorrow, but
Okay.
breakfast is between 8 and 10:30.
Thanks
Okay.
for sharing your
Thank you so
stories.
much.
Sure.
We'll see you
Have a
soon.
great time.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
This is the outdoor porch. We got a lot of kids yelling because there's a school across the street.
Oh, wow.
So, do you want to put our names down for breakfast before we go?
You put your room number.
And that's the upstairs porch that we were just on earlier. And again, here's where we're staying. So we'll go through some more later.